started? Okay, good to see everybody. Thank you for being here today. And this is the TTR Networking Leaders Meeting of May. It's May 10th, 2022. I cannot believe it every time I write 22. I just do not understand how that happened. But anyway, so glad you're here. Just going to say real quick, anybody got anything new and good that you might want to throw out to the whole group? You're welcome to do that.
I was just going to say, Jennifer, that I don't know if everybody knows this, but the Westfield group joined our group for a few weeks just to collaborate while Tim is out. And I thought it was really refreshing. It added just a little bit of fresh, new input, new people. And so I don't know if there's other opportunities for those types of collaborations between groups, but I would just encourage, if people are having groups on different days, or even if they're having social events or whatnot. I know we have the monthly breakfast, and I would invite any of you to the monthly breakfast that we have. We have it on the first Tuesday of the month at Ginger's in Noblesville. And it's just social. It's not business. It's just a time to get together since we Zoom for the most part. So I was just going to say that I really enjoyed having the Westfield group on our call, and I'm looking forward to having them for the next couple of weeks. And
we actually, and Kim, thank you for saying that, because we have a visitor day next Wednesday. And it's on our list of events that I have down in the agenda a little bit. But when you were in Mexico, that's when we did it before, Kim, and there was just a fresh feeling of, it's good to know each other. I mean, we talk about being relationship driven, and I don't quotation it because I think we do it, but I think it's really important to do those kind of things, have the different groups meet at different times. Now, Angie's group was trying to connect with the Westfield group. The Westfield group meets at 8:00 on Wednesday mornings. Angie's group meets at 11:30 on Thursdays. You were having some problems getting everybody to connect on that, weren't you?
Yeah, my group is busy getting kids off to school in the morning, largely, and 8 a.m. is just too early for us. But Melissa and I talked about, I think she was going to ask her group if they were willing to be a little later, or I don't remember where we left it, but when you said that, Kim, I'm like, oh yeah, I was working on something like that. So
yeah. And the one of the reasons that we were talking to Cindy Giuliani, she's still in Florida, Kim. I just reached out to her. She's still in Florida, but I think that would be a really nice thing for us to be able to help. Now, we have wonderful nonprofits like the Indiana Parkinson Foundation. Believe me, I'm not, but I think if we can, have those, we have the secret families. We have, if we could have, I just think what Cindy's doing, I don't know. I talked to her on the phone a couple of weeks ago after she did the presentation for the Thursday groups. And it was just really nice to connect with good people. So if we can do that, and I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole. Kim, you didn't talk about that. You were actually saying just the collaboration of the groups. And, I do think even the people that seem to be the staunchest, I don't know if that's a good word, but the biggest supporters of staying industry exclusive, they even seem to enjoy doing that once in a while, I don't know. We've asked that question in our Northside group, I think we did, Kim, in a roundabout way, I think Kim Vegas was our only one who said, oh no, he's a CPA. We're pretty cutthroat. Most CPAs are pretty cutthroat. But the idea was, could, two CPAs meet in a group like that and have something to share with each other? Yes, they could. But he said they were pretty cutthroat. But I do think, you know, you all know your industry better than anybody else, but I would just say, you know, I'd like to believe we could all collaborate like that once in a while. And there's new relationships that are forged every single day that way. You know, people end up on a different call or they, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kim. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Can
So-
I share real quick? Angie,
yeah.
Angie had a quick question. So,
Yeah.
Angie, we did not have a speaker. What I have added to our group, which is quite new, I started it about a month and a half ago. I have one person take 1 month, so it rotates, you know, monthly, and we're doing an educational piece. So we do our member intros. If we have visitors, we have visitor intros, and then we have announcements. And then I have the person that's doing the education do like a 3 to 5 minute piece on education. The first month that Nick did it, he focused on educating the group on what he did, the digital marketing side of things, the email blasts and things like that. Greg this month is focusing on the theme, you know, making the connection. So just allowing each individual to have a little bit more talk time, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in their business. It can be based on the theme. I just thought it was a nice way to shake things up and bring just something new. So no, we didn't have a speaker, but I have added that to our group.
That's great. I'm sorry, I did not see that, but that's a good question. You know what? When it just seems like when we have a speaker, we got enough time for a speaker. When we don't have a speaker, we always fill the time. You do that with your group, Angie. I've been on your calls many times when you've done that. So yeah, it's everybody.
I was asking it because of the non-industry exclusive that
Right.
content can be helpful to everyone.
Sure.
You know, because if you do have a couple realtors and a couple financial and a couple, you know, they're not necessarily going to be making connections for one another, but everybody can learn together. So I think what you did is great, Kim. We've actually just done that in our group and everyone's presented. We are only at 7 members right now, though, so that only went through so many weeks, but I'm always looking for new content to bring to the meeting. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I know you have had a lot of visitors. I know you've had a lot of visitors. You've turned them into members. I mean, Paula's now a member, right? Yeah, so I mean, you know, and I would rather, I don't know, Nicole, if you're on here, I can't see everybody. But I do, I mean, Nicole says it probably 10 times a day. They're not aligned with us. They're not aligned. And I really think that's the truth. I mean, it really
If they leave, if they go somewhere else.
if they leave. I mean,
Everybody-
you know, we've all had people in our groups that are not aligned and they're there for a while and they kind of they can cause some problems. It's not always a good thing, you know, you kind of see it as it unfolds, but the align, you know, that is something that I visited today with our Fisher's Favorites group, and they just do not want to do Zoom, and Amy is their leader. And I don't know if everybody knows this, and I don't know if she will be getting on at all, but Amy is going through chemo and radiation, and she's struggling and she's got a lot of issues. And this group, the only reason I think they've even managed is Amy started it 5-6 years ago. We were talking about it, but they are just a really close knit. Now they're one of our biggest groups. Northside and Fisher's Favorites always kind of are about the same at different times. You know, we all know people leave and then we get new people. And but that group, and I would like to believe that all of our groups have something like that glue that kind of holds them together. And even when you've got somebody like Brian that left our group because he changed jobs, he and I emailed back and forth. And I know you're connected with him more than I am, but he just was so positive and said he really enjoyed what we were doing. And I give a lot of the credit to our leaders. I mean, Kim, you're a great leader. And I know, Angie, you are too. So, you know, I mean, you're all great leaders. Robert, you're not a leader, but you know what I'm saying. But you guys are all, you are the glue that keeps it together. And we've had a really strange 2 years. So, I mean, I don't think we're completely out of it yet. So thank you for all you're doing. I am open. There is nothing written in stone that says we have to do it exactly this way or that way. If there's something creative like that, I would love to do it. I mean, let's just, we do have a reputation out there. I don't know if that say that reputation is good. I found that out at Fisher's Favorites today. They were talking very positively about what we're doing. And there's some other organizations locally that are not doing very well. So they don't have good reputation. Let me say that. So I'm happy that we're getting that. But anyway, I will leave it. I will go to the next thing if everybody's good. And feel free, if there's something you need, you want to share, just do not hesitate. And if you see something that you don't have to even message, just yell at me. Anybody that got to the race to support small business recap, anybody in this group get there? I know that
I loved it.
Nicole and I were there.
But it was, wow.
It was good. It was good. And I know that a lot of us couldn't maybe. It was a weird time, I'll be honest. I wasn't really sure how they were going to do that on a Friday that was held at the Launch Fishers. And they are going to do another event sometime. I know Ryan said something about the fall. It was well attended. I got what do you call it? An Excel spreadsheet with all the attendees that were supposed to be there. Not everybody was there, but I think they had, Nicole, do you remember? I think it was 90 some people that had registered, but I don't think
a good amount, at least 65.
Yeah, well, that showed up. Yes. Yeah. So as we all know, we put on events and we never get everybody that signs up, but but that is how it goes. It was really well attended. They had H7 gold. No, they didn't have Gold Star. Sorry. Rainmakers, whiteboard learning.
GNLC, Brian Brodenhamer's GNLC. I don't know. He said real fast what that meant.
It's the Geist networking group, and that we have a lot of members that are members of H7, might be the Geist group, And it was just a really nice collaboration. So talk about that. That was pretty cool. We were the last ones to give our door prizes away, though. One of the winners was Janice Ruiz, who is in our network already. But the other people, the other gentlemen I've reached out to, and we'll see what happens. But I am in the process of going through all the people and reaching out to them, and hopefully we'll get some of these people to start visiting our groups. That was, the goal. And the good thing is H7 and all these groups you can be a member of all these, and nobody's, I'm not saying anything against BNI, but if you're in a BNI, their price tag is a lot higher. So it's very difficult for, people to be in multiple groups when they're in a BNI. They could be. But anyway, I do want to move on real quick. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody that's on. Nope, everybody. Okay. And what I do want to do is a couple new things that we've got. I put drum roll, please. We are now launching, and I will be happy to talk to anybody that wants to know more. But we have what we're calling we have our first global partner, and that is Robert Bonjour. Robert, are you available? Can you hear me? If he doesn't get on, oh, there he is. There he is.
I'm here. I'm just staring at like 5 screens at once. So.
Okay, well, don't lose any. We want you to keep your business. We don't want you to lose business over this. No, Robert. Actually, Robert has been we said what, 4 or 5 years you've been a member?
Something like that.
Something like that. And if you guys don't know it, he's the same age as my son. And every time I talk to him, I say I get homesick to hear my son's voice. He's out in Colorado. So when Robert talks, I just kind of chill out for a minute. It's not weird. It's a mother thing. Okay, so whatever. But Robert has been, and Kim, we've just been talking about this, and Robert has been, an Offset House Printing has been a member of TTR for about 4 or 5 years, something like that. And Robert and I had a conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I just kind of planted the seed. Would you be interested in doing this? And you're probably all saying, well, what the heck is a global partner? We are still creating this, but basically what I would like everybody to think of is we've had probably 4 or 5 other printers in the life of TTR, which is now almost 11 years. And all of them have either, well, I don't want to say they've been losers, but they drop out or they go out of business or something. And Robert has been around now. Robert is very busy, so he's not going to be the first. I mean, he's going to be the first one to tell you he's very busy, and he is even, it's been hard for him to get to our North Side group, which has been his home group for a while, for the 4 or 5 years that he's been in. He's visited a lot of our other groups, but. So what we're calling our global partner is you basically are across the board. He is our only printer. As of we're getting all the official, we're launching it now. It'll either be official May 15th or it'll be the 1st of June. But basically, I'm going to give Robert the floor real quick and then I told him he wouldn't have to be on real long, but he could explain what he does. You guys don't know Robert, you need to meet Robert. Robert Bonjour, meet the ladies of, there is no other men on the call because I don't think Tim is even available. And Gary, I'm not sure where Gary is, but take it away, Robert. Who are you? Why do we need to care?
Well, I mean, when we had this conversation, so like for me, my entire book is based on networking. So I'm like a big advocate of all that other good stuff. Plus it's been really rewarding for us to kind of be a part of it. But
good.
No, I mean, like the whole goal of it is like to show you guys support of what's been done for, our relationship and all the other good stuff. So it was just kind of in a direction. It's like, hey, we don't mind, being the first partner, so to speak, in that category, to kind of be the guinea pig and give you good feedback and all the other good stuff. But we're a full service commercial printer. We help a lot of small people, and we also help with a lot of larger companies. We work literally worldwide. I have clients in Germany and the UK and Belgium and all that other good stuff. So, a lot of the stuff anymore, we work with a ton of different logistics companies anymore now because of our geographical location. But we're just trying to be more brand awareness, so that this was a good opportunity for us to,
thank you,
kind of invest back in towards the business. And I told Jennifer straight up that, to be 100% transparent with all you guys, we've really haven't spent any money on marketing. So, we've been around for a minute, but we're trying to change our ways and get with the times. So I'm excited.
Well, thank you. That's actually really nice. I didn't even tell you to say all that. That's really cool. We didn't do a primer, a pre-conversation or anything, Robert. I appreciate. Robert has done printing for probably everybody in our North Side group at some point. I don't know, Kim. I don't know. And I'm not trying to, you don't have to say anything, but I mean, and it's a family-owned company. How long have you been in business, Robert? I'm sorry.
My grandparents started in 1964 out of our basement in Lawrence, which is why it's called Offset House.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. Okay. That is very cool. So what we are doing is basically, I had this morning, and he's not on the call. And if he jumped on the call, hey, Don, if he jumped on the call, I would talk to him directly. This is the global partnership is not meant for any industry that is represented throughout all of our groups. So I had a mortgage dude who's one of our leaders, who's a good man, but he said, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. You mean I could become the global partner and I could kick out the rest of the mortgage people? And I said, no, you can't do that. What the reality is here that we have some industries that are not represented at all, and we have some that we have in every group. Robert and I've talked many times, the printing industry has not been represented. And I can tell you that Robert is, he's very good at what he does. He's a young guy, but the company has been around since 64, did you say? Unbelievable. I was only a year old then, Robert. Now that's a great thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But so I am happy to talk to people who are members about this opportunity. It's not it does cost more than, and we won't go down that road right now because we're still creating the arrangement. But basically, Robert is going to get placement on Referral Runway on our website. He's going to get everybody's contact information. He hopefully will take advantage of the fact that he can reach out to you guys as ladies, as leaders, and hopefully, schedule some opportunities, because he is local, but he then can jump on Zoom, and he can work with any of your members that are outside the area. Nothing is, I don't know, did we talk about the Netherlands, Robert? I have a Netherlands lady. I know you said it has to make sense. I know we talked about it.
Yeah, no, and then the other thing I wanted to bring up too, just as we're in a leadership meeting is like, with this, the intent behind this is to also get you guys collateral. So, brainstorm on things like, hey, if we want, visitor invite cards for group specific, that can be something that we could do. I mean, so this is what that's going to bring you guys. We're a partner, but we're also trying to be a resource to TTR specifically. So, whether that be things like, pull banners for Expo or things like that, that's other things that we're looking to help with as well. So I just want to be transparent on those things. Like, don't be too shy to reach out and say, hey, what would this look like? Can we do that for you? So
yes, thank you, Robert. That's great. Great. And Kim would probably agree. It's been very nice to see Robert grow up in our group over the last few years. Not that you were immature, Robert, he's laughing. I know he's laughing. He is, I just was really excited because he and I started talking and I was like, we want to launch this. Now, the guys that created Referral Runway originally, Tony, they are offering this. They're not calling it global, they're calling it a premier partnership. But who do you know out there that is an industry, like they have a water park near where Referral Runway is out of St. Louis or wherever I always get confused where they're at, but they have a water park. So they're offering this water park is giving special deals to the members of the Referral Runway group out there. And that's the kind of stuff. Now, I did not tell Robert he had to offer special deals, but what he just said is value that we have this, they created our original little postcards that we're still using. And I know we're going to start talking about some more things that we can do. So just know, obviously, it's all about relationships. Get to know Robert. We will be sending out his information. Robert, if you want to, can you put it in the chat? Did you do that already? You probably didn't do that because I didn't say to do it. And we will make sure that everybody gets that in the leader. But then, Robert, the big thing, we want to get you so you're presenting to every group when you can, a couple times a year, whatever. But does this make sense as far as what this is? Because I know it's a new idea. If you've got an auto dealer out there, you've got, if there's a restaurant in town that you have a connect, whatever, and we will make it, believe me, we will give you some kind of a reason to do that, an incentive. We're still kind of creating It might be a free month of TTR. I don't know, but in this case, I found Robert, so I get the free month of TTR. I'm not going to worry about that. Anybody got any questions about that? I don't want to leave it. I know Gary was, I already said it, but Gary was kind of like, oh, you mean I can kick out all the other mortgage people? I said, no, you can't kick out the mortgage people. So that is, we're not, it might not be that the person is actually a member. The goal would be that they're not, that we're bringing new people to find out about you guys and what you do, if that makes sense. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Robert, you're awesome. And we're going to be Thursday night. I just happened to put this, this Thursday, if you are available from 5 to 7, we have our kickoff at the Movable Feast. The guy has actually been calling me trying to get a menu. We're not going to provide dinner, but we're going to have munchies, and it is a really, really cool place. Erica, I know I mentioned it to you. Can you give us just a few pieces of information? Robert, I hope you're going to be able to be there. That was the part of it. I think you already planned on it, didn't you? Okay. Erica, what do you think? What do they need to know?
It's a flow wise. It's got all the food is farm to table, so it's very it's healthy. And they've got beer and wine as well. Oh, sorry. 0.0039 gallons. Sorry. I don't know what Siri just started to listen in. But it's got great food. I mean, everything's healthy. But you can also enjoy some beer and some wine after hours. They've got a Sunday bar too, if somebody wants ice cream. It's just a nice little place, and it's got lots of little tables where I think it'll flow well. And if this weather is nice, they'll probably allow us to, or we could even be outside because they've got a front patio. So it should be a fun afternoon on Thursday.
I think so. And thank you, Erica. They're the Movable Feast, and everybody's like, what's the Movable Feast? What is this thing? You really need to see it to really get it. But the Broad Ripple group meets there every Wednesday at noon for lunch. And they have been so excited. The guy is texting me, asking me, what do we want? And all this stuff. So I will try to make it as, I don't know, it's just really a neat place, really cool. The address is right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it is on 65th. You basically go south on Binford and you turn right on 65th, and it's kind of down there in, it doesn't really look like it would be a restaurant there, but it's right in a little business, whatever, a little business park, right? And then a couple doors down is the Beer Brewery, which is BIER Brewery. And you guys have once a month, you have a happy hour there. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, that's from 5 to 7 on Thursday. They do close at 7. So we will be leaving at 7. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And that's, a live networking event. I'm kind of excited that we get to do that. Thanks, Robert. You don't have to stick around, but we love you. Did you put your contact information in there?
Yeah, I did. I was about to tell you guys, I'm jumping off. I got to go run up to Anderson. Hoosier Park's doing a thing tomorrow, and I got to help get some things in order for him. So,
yeah,
but no,
Robert.
I will be there. I will be there on Thursday. Nicole emailed me. I sent you, I think I said the 27th, 26th.
May 27th, 20.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, this
May.
month.
Okay, I will check on
But
that.
yeah,
Yeah, you're so excited. Yeah, see?
And then
You
yeah,
already got booked.
just being transparent out loud. If you guys want to start a thread on like collateral pieces that we want to talk about, we can look at it that way too.
What
I
do you mean collateral pieces? What do you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, can you give us a definition?
So like your handout cards, like this is our group that we meet at. This is a little business card, just to make it more convenient. So you guys aren't just sending over emails just like everyone else does.
So are you thinking, Robert, that is something that you would give me a really good price on?
I'll just print it for you. Just let me throw my logo on it and say.
Okay, so did you guys hear that from Robert? So There is nothing.
I just want my
Robert,
logo on it somewhere.
yeah, so nobody's stupid in this world. I mean, not in this environment. We're all smart. We're all trying to cross market. There's no reason. I don't know if that's what you call it, Robert, but that's what I would think. I didn't want to put you in the corner that you had to say that, but I just want everybody to know that's what he's offering to do. I mean, you know, somebody in your group, whether you're meeting in person or you're on Zoom, you know, there's really no reason to not be. I mean, a lot of us that are on Zoom, you're still seeing members of your group. There's really no reason not to do that. And Robert can, when he presents to your groups, he can share a lot more about how he's, you know, what he's doing. I know my first thought was, so are people really buying printed stuff still? Well, yeah, they are, aren't they, Robert?
We brought on 3 new clients today. So
All
yes.
right. So, you know, they're doing something right, guys. So I just would say thank you, Robert. And so we need to start a thread. Is that what you said? Basically, we could.
Yeah. Like, you know, like a wish list, and then we can start dialing it in.
Okay, so you heard it from him. We'll see, Nicole and I'll get something started with everybody hopefully on it. And if you don't want to be on it, that's fine, but you need to reach out to Robert and get, you know, start figuring out when he can talk to your members. You know, Robert, this was the big question, and I know we're going to run out of time. I don't want to talk too much more because I got a lot of things to still cover, but one of the thoughts was, well, Robert has been a member forever, not forever, 5 years. How are you going to handle if you get referral requests from your clients? What are you going to do? Isn't it relationships and getting to know people? I mean, what do you think? I mean, is there an answer you can give? I didn't prep you on that one.
Can you ask the question again? Sorry.
Well, the thought was you've been a member of Northside for 5 years. How are you going to know who to refer people to if somebody reaches out to you for a referral? For somebody, are you going to go back to Northside, or are you just going to look at the whole network and say, well, here's some, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of a trick question, I guess.
Well, I mean, to be frank, normally what I do is I just ask a lot of better qualifying questions.
There
and
you
then
go.
I would push it out in front of, you know, I could still do a blind carbon copy thread and say, what's it, you know, is this a good fit?
Yeah.
A lot of people want to strategically, you know, place their clients with them. You know, you could have a young guy work really well with older people because he reminds them of their grandchildren. I don't know, like you know what I'm saying?
Or their
like,
child,
you know,
their son.
we just want to close a solution. We don't necessarily.
Yes.
We want to keep it in the network, right? So.
Right. Well, that would be great. That'd be great. So the answer is that you just need to get to know Robert, and because then he literally, that is how he works. It is all about, you know, good fits and does it make sense and all of that. So thank you, Robert. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, you're good.
Drive
No,
carefully.
I mean, we do, like, we probably end up doing about 15 discovery meetings with companies that we might not even do any business with, but it's strictly on, you know, the networking aspect. So it's always good to connect and know who people are. Cause I mean, we had a guy yesterday that closed on a 50,000 square foot building on an email I got at 10 o'clock yesterday. That was
wow.
Shit.
Wow. Well, you're doing great. Thank you very much. And I as soon as I have more information on my end, I'll let you know, but I'll see you Thursday. Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thank
guys
you.
Have a good evening.
Robert, drive carefully, please. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, ladies. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, I did have a couple of members that were asking, and I hope it's clear, but you need to be in an industry that nobody else is. I'm not going to have anybody get kicked out of TTR. I'm just not going to do that. That's not.
So Jennifer, kind of like a car dealership, right?
Yes,
If
yes.
there's a car dealership, we don't have one in any of our industry
Right.
groups represented.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
okay.
We do have a couple people who are members who've asked me, and they do qualify as far as they're the only one who does what they do.
Mhm.
But that, yes, so that is the question. I hope that makes sense. Gary's not on here, so he can't be devil's advocate right now. But anyway, we'll move on to Thursday night is our summer kickoff. And then we've got Kim. What is next Wednesday? Can you, it's the, can you see it?
It's
We'll be having
Tuesday.
our visitor day on the
Yep.
18th.
Yep.
So I've asked all of our members to be reminding their visitors and making sure they have all the Zoom invites out to them. And if anybody on this call wants to join us and, meet new people, have at it. I think it's an open meeting. So I'd love to have any of you.
Well, there you go. And I think that kind of goes along with, we'd like to be able to support our groups when they have a visitor day, even if I know Angie McHale's done that a lot where she, and actually you don't have too many people who do what Angie does. So it works out well. But that would be awesome. Yes. And we have that. And then the same day, now I did not put that on here. I don't think. The Noblesville, thank you, Nicole. The Noblesville Taste of the Chamber is that same day. So if you are, I think it's 4:30 to 7, I believe. I've asked a couple people to help me. I thought I had it written down up here, but I don't see where I have it.
I thought that was May 18th.
It is. That's the same day as Kim's visitor day. Mhm.
Can you believe it already?
That's next Wednesday already.
Sneaking up on us.
Yeah, next Wednesday. I didn't even think about it. We do have an Eventbrite, and Nicole has been putting it out on our social media all over. As far as Kim's event, we haven't really put out the taste of business because I haven't really been thinking that far yet.
We
But
shouldn't we?
we should put it out there, and I think it's either $5 or $7 to attend. I think I'm pretty sure I do not have it on our agenda for today, though. Unfortunately, for some reason, how did I miss that? Thank you, Nicole, for making sure. I did, and you can get tickets. I think if you go to the chamber thing, you can get them. One thing I wanted to do real quick. There's so many things going on, guys. I wanted to make sure that we talked about the visitor day, obviously the Thursday summer kickoff. But one thing I wanted to throw out to everyone is that this has been on our website from probably a year or so in. We updated our website, and I've blown this up so that everybody can see it. But To the Rescue is not only the name of what we do, or the LLC that runs this, but it's also an acronym. When I thought this all through, it's like, oh my gosh, it's been here for I don't know how long, and I have never really highlighted it on a meeting. If you look on our website, it's there, but you might just kind of look right past it because it's hard to see it. But anyway, Rescue is relationships, education, success strategies. There are 2 S's there, obviously, community, understanding, and execution. And if you think about all the things that we do, they fall under this somewhere. Relationships being the R, that is the number one thing that I think is really important for everybody to get. But, if you come up with other things that we're doing that do not fall under this, let me know. But I just wanted everybody to really kind of think about that. That is what we're all about. Networking is obviously under community. Our nonprofits are under community. Our mastermind, education and success strategies. Understanding to me is not only understanding your fellow referral partners, but how to take these success strategies and put them into practice. But also, just so many things, there's so much. And then we can all sit around and talk about how we're going to do this, but until we actually do it, the execution is so important for us to be talking and helping each other do that. You know, I mean, really get out there and support each other. Somebody has a grand opening or somebody has an online event or whatever it is, you know, just helping each other. So I did ask real quick, and I know Dawn, I asked her if she would talk a little bit, making the connection. Dawn, I don't know if you had prepared for that, but I did. We talked a bit about it last week a little bit. So do you mind?
Sure.
Okay.
Just thinking about our May topic, making the connection. Jennifer and I were chatting, and I just made some bullet points of some ideas that we can all think about and implement. And of course, in our meetings this month, use them as discussion topics with our group members. Number one, for older groups, go back to your binders of business cards that we had back when we used to meet in person, and, you know, reconnect and reinvite those individuals who either didn't join our groups or, you know, have since perhaps drifted off. You know, find out what's going on in their businesses now. Is now a good time to come back and visit or perhaps rejoin a networking group? Ask them what they need, what they're looking for. Let them know the wins and the positive points that are going on within your group, what time you're meeting, and, you know, have that general touch base conversation. For the newer groups that may not, you know, have that binder of business cards from when we used to meet in person, if you have saved your visitor information to Referral Runway, just go back within the last 6 months and see who has visited, who you talked to, who might be a good fit for your group, and touch base with them and re-invite them to visit once again. You know, maybe 6 months ago, 4 months ago wasn't a good time for them. Maybe there was a lot going on with 2021 and fiscal year end, and for them to kind of shore up what they're doing in their business. But now might be a very good time to help connect them to some wonderful resources and people who might be wonderful potential new clients. Make sure to consider connections from your other networking lists when you attend these in-person gatherings and you get a list of all of the registered attendees, or you're picking up business cards. Make sure that we're doing the follow-up, and that follow-up, which might include, you know, talking about your own business and you know, talking potential mutual benefit, but also, hey, what are you currently doing for networking, and would you like to come attend a TTR networking meeting? You know, talk about the versatility that we've got 14 groups to choose from, and you know, surely that there's a place, a slot that works good for them. Develop a template, either an email or a template text message that you can use to reconnect and reinvite those individuals, so that you don't feel like you're sitting down with a very burdensome list of, you've got to find some way to particularly engage each and every one of these people. But you can use more of a template, a broad, insert their name here, and remember we met here, and, you know, I want to take the opportunity to invite you to TTR networking. Make sure that you look up TTR members on LinkedIn pages, and, you know, peruse who do they know that you want to get to know, and ask them for an introduction. And along with the introduction, again, while you may be talking about mutual business, talk to them about networking, talk to them about TTR. You can do the same thing with other methods of social media, whether you're in Facebook or Instagram or whatever. When you see someone who's in a business area that might be complementary to yours, go ahead and introduce yourself and not only tell them about your business, but tell them about the TTR networking group that you're a part of, that you enjoy, that you value, and see if perhaps they might be interested in that. My last point is just, always make sure this is a two-way street. So make sure that when you're talking to individuals and making that connection, that you are looking to help others, not just get new members in your group, not just new business for yourself, but make sure that you communicate the value and that you want to help them and their business grow by engaging them in networking and connecting them with more people that might help their business as well. That's it.
Yay, Dawn, good job, good job. Well, and I think it's a big piece. When Dawn was saying to me last week, she said, we should all be reaching out to our guests. And I'm like, yes. And it's not your job as the leader to do that. Erica, don't take this the wrong way, but the Broad Ripple group, I don't know how many times I was in different meetings, and it wasn't when it was, but they were saying, well, what about these people that have visited? And I was like, well, what about these people that have visited? This was before pandemic. And I remember I said something, has anybody in this group followed up with any of those people? And they all kind of looked at me blankly. And it was like, why are they going to come back if nobody's reaching out to them? Come on, and so I think, when you have a visitor day and stuff, it's really important to, invite as many, but then that follow-up is really, truly the fortune. That's where it works. We all know there's members or potential members that are floating around all of our groups. And you know what? Angie Oaks and I had a conversation, we don't know what group they're going to necessarily end up in. They're getting a lot of referrals right now, so they don't see the value of joining yet. But there will be a point at which their referrals may, because we've got a couple that are doing very different industries. They're not worried about us. They're just getting as many referrals, but their referral stream is going to dry up at some point. And we want them to have good feelings about all of our groups. But you really, I'm just saying, follow up. They might just end up joining because they feel like your group wants them. Anyway, so I do want to move on. Thank you, Dawn. That's exactly making the connection. I would just throw it out there. Last week, I asked the Monica's group, I said, what is your favorite kind of ice cream? Where do you like to vacation? And what was a nickname you had when you were growing up? That conversation was so revealing, I'll tell you. I mean, it was fun. It was nothing, it was just fun. And everybody then started to share things that we didn't know, and it just opened. So getting better connected with the members and people hearing that Jerry Stern likes double chocolate ice cream. I mean, I would have thought, now don't take this the wrong way and don't tell Jerry I said this, but I thought he'd be a strawberry guy. He just was a double chocolate guy. That was really funny to me that he would, and it was a fun meeting. But anyway, that just getting better in touch with each other, so we can understand each other. Nicole, I had put down, I know we've only got like 5 minutes, so we can go over a minute or two, but you had said you wanted to talk a little bit about testimonials. I didn't even put those down.
The testimonials, you make it so easy. You've been personally sending special links using Glimpse video to each member, and all the person who gets it has to do is just click on it. It takes the video for you, and then you can watch it, redo it.
50 seconds. I mean, literally, it's not even a minute.
50 seconds, something nice about TTR, something, if you want to just list a couple of quick things, but what is the exciting thing is, what are these going to be used for? These might go on the website, right? Right. They might be part on Facebook, so not only are we are you celebrating TTR, but it's going to pay you back.
Well,
You're
yeah.
gonna, get to go out,
Yeah, so thank you for saying that. One of the things I wanted, that most of the people on this call have actually done them. So thank you for doing that. I don't want you to think, you guys, we just have to keep promoting it. And if somebody, if people are not inspired, I don't want them to record something, because more than likely that's not going to be genuine anyway. Do not worry about that. I just want to keep, we've been told over and over, people look at videos. And they want to see real people enjoying what they're doing. So we've covered a lot of this. Thank you, Nicole. Was there anything else that we wanted you to touch on?
We talked about the big events. So this Thursday is the Movable Feast. And then Wednesday is the Northside Visitor Day, Noblesville Taste of Chamber. And then the Cards and Chill is something fun that we've started on Friday nights at 7 p.m. If y'all, I am at this time, like, I don't know, 12 years ago, no, probably longer than that. In Louisville, we had something called Creative Memories with I don't know if y'all have that up here, but it's the same idea, except it's with cards, and you can use your own cards, or you can do it on with sent out cards, so it's really fun. It's a great way to just be laid back and connect. It's like 7 p.m. to 8 on Fridays, every Friday. So
just kind of a fun thing. And Nicole she's in charge of that. She had some hackers last week, so you might want to jump on this week to find out if they come back or something. But I'm joking. I don't think you want
to. I know how to get rid of them, and now I know how. I feel so bad. I accidentally blocked Nancy Vesley, and she couldn't get back in. But I've learned, if that ever happens to you, just say, just totally shut your, your Zoom down and get back on. And
so good job, Nicole. Yes, you and I'm very excited about that. It's working. We also there is literally a National Scavenger Hunt Day, which is May 24th. We are actually doing a whole thing about relationship marketing strategy. There is that holiday, and we're going to help people figure out what their relationship marketing strategy is, if they don't have one, and there's some tools to use. And that's on our Facebook. It's been out there. I've been sending it out to everybody. I do want to say really quick before we quit today, I do want to say thank you we have a team of people who have been very instrumental in our Success Connect Mastermind. We're doing it 3 months at a time. I don't even know if Angie and Linda's not on, but Angie McHale's been on there, dedicated. We have 2 more weeks. No, 3 more weeks, this week and 2 more weeks. And that is going to close our spring session, and then we will launch again in the fall. So if you're a mastermind person and you want, we get very deep into what you're doing in your business. It's not industry exclusive. We're talking about the success strategies there, and everybody who's been a part of that has just been awesome. But I want to say thank you to Angie McHale, Nicole Williams, and Linda Lewis, who is not a leader, but she has been part of the team. What is going to launch I'm going to say this really fast, and then I'll be sending out more information. And we do want one other question answered, and maybe Dawn can help us. But TTR Ignite, I'm actually waiting for the logo. This is a program that is going to be started in June, and it's basically industry, not exclusive, for anybody that that says, I have no idea what I'm doing. The industry exclusive thing can scare people away. So what we're trying to do, I just talked to a lady yesterday or the day before who literally said, I have never done networking ever. I have no idea where to start. She has a small business, and this would be perfect for her. Most of our competitors in the area have what they call kind of like a networking 101, learning the basics. And that is what we're going to launch on Tuesday, June 7th at noon, and it'll go for an hour. You'll start getting information. I will send the logo out very soon, but that is going to be launching. And then we also, in June, Dawn Evans, Casey, what can you tell us about that? Do you have a date?
I don't have a date. I'm waiting for a panel participant to respond with availability. So it'll likely be, midweek, second or third week in June, but I don't have specific.
Okay. So if you haven't been part of that, the TTR Cares, is there a theme?
The theme is community policing.
Oh,
so it's going to be based on like community block clubs and local law enforcement and the partnership between those groups.
Good. Okay. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. We were going to ask you that, but we were hoping we could get a date on the calendar. So we're looking at probably somewhere. It's usually, are you doing it a Wednesday evening? Is that what you're doing?
Wednesday or Thursday would be the preferable days. Either the second or third week in June.
Okay. So if you could do Wednesday, because we're doing another thing with the themes. I am doing something I'm going to be doing every month. We're going to be doing some free thing out there to try to get more people to, with the idea of the themes of the month. That's what we're going to be. So making the connection. As of right now, we're planning on May the 26th. And June the 23rd. So if you could go to the Wednesday instead, Dawn, just, you know, it may not be the same people, but I want to attend your group. I don't want to, that event. I know the TTR Cares I see as being a very big part of what we're doing. The other thing I want to do, thank you, Dawn. You do a great job. The other thing I want to make sure everybody knows, the next speed networking is on Zoom. We are doing it on Zoom. It's Monday, June 20th. And then we have our last, we'll only have 3 this year, September 19th, and they're all at noon. Probably mid-May is when, or the end of May is when we'll put it out there on Eventbrite. And our next meeting is 6/14. I can't believe that, but that is National Flag Day and Strawberry Shortcake Day. Whoa! So anyway, I don't know if anybody cares, but that's what we've got coming up. Thank you for sticking around. Is there anything that anybody had any questions, or did I miss anything?
Did you see the comments from Angie McHale? That she says so interesting. We just had some emails from our HOA pres and his Como with Carmel Police. So important. So talking about the partnerships and helping.
Yeah, I actually literally like 15 minutes before we hopped on here, I was reading his emails, and a neighborhood across the way from us had a break-in, and so some of the neighbors, it was on Nextdoor, and some of the neighbors reached out to our HOA president and said, hey, can we talk about this? And basically it was some really great advice from the Carmel Police Department. Hello, lock your doors when they're in the driveway. Don't keep valuable stuff within like eye contact. They're things we all know, but we need to be reminded of it all the time. It was some really, really great just reminders. And I don't think about this as much as my husband's really good at all of that kind of stuff, but I never lock anything. But I am very, very conscious of locking all the doors once my husband goes to work and my kids go to school and I go up to take shower, like locking your doors, making sure the garage is closed, just things that sometimes you don't think about. And it was a really good reminder about the exact topic that you were talking about, Dawn.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And if you have not, I think everybody on here has been on one of Dawn's TTR Cares. I really feel like that is such a big part of what we do, and we're not giving it the space that we need so we need to build it up. So as soon as Dawn can give us a date, she did a wonderful job with I Am My Brother's Keeper back in, was it in March? I think.
Yes.
And it's out, and I know it's on our website. We're more than just a networking organization though, So I want everybody to know, if you've got an idea, I will just say, Dawn had an idea for TTR Cares and we just launched it, I mean, so what should we be doing that we're not doing? Or what do you want us to do that you think would be great? And I'm happy to look at that. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And I would just put it out there that if you have not connected with Robert, do that. And I'm happy to talk to other people that want to look at that, but just don't get all flustered like, oh, I mean, I wanted to do that, but there's 4 other insurance people. Yeah, I'm sorry. There are 4 other insurance people. It's not meant for those industries. And anyway, so I love you all. I am saying that on recording. Everybody have a great night. And thank you so much for all you're doing.
Thank you, Jennifer.
everybody.
Thank you,
Take care,
everybody.
be safe. Drive carefully. All that stuff. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.